trailblazer, vision quest, precise like a laser. What I gotta do to be infinite, energetically, every cell a different metaphysical syndicate, stilly lit, missiles hit like he dropped a ton of bricks. What it is, yo, coming. I had to reemerge after I wept, underswept, slept on your boy for a little too long. Of course, someone gonna feel a type of way. That's how 3D hit. That's how 3D live. That's what 3D dish. That's what 3D give. Yo, I give 3 mamacitas, senoritas, 3Ds each. Yo, I I could see it for what it is. Moon in Scorpio. Did you do your homework? Get your credentials right in your file cabinet? Did you get your portfolio all steady, knit, tight, right, correct, neat, and clean, pristine? Yo, what do I gotta do to be the supreme? So of course someone's gonna feel some type of way. That's 3D. But it's up to us to come correct. And the correction, it's always, it's like the predecessors say, it's like you're driving the ship while repairing it. So as you're driving the ship, you're still going through life, but the repairing part is there because sometimes you're not fitting correctly a part of life, like duh. So that's, everyone is doing that. So I did a third underground 25-minute video, which is just, I don't post these videos because they're just like, it's just like, it's not there for the public, you know? So since it's not there for the public, since it's not there for the public, it's, I just talk about particular things, you know? I got distracted. I saw someone like, is that like a dead, is there a dead, like, oh, okay. And I don't want to see any like dead humans on the floor, but you know, the movies, the 1980s movies, they were what they were, and I just had the point, and now it came back, and then it went. But oh yeah, so we're always refining our ship, you know, and as we're refining our ship, when we're moving through life, as we're refining our ship, we're not going to fit into each and every place all the time, you know? And if we don't fit into that place, it's not that we always won't fit in that place. We ourselves are not correct for the time being to go into that circumstance because their collective is in a certain type of, you know, mentality phase of some type of quote unquote not self, end quote, for whatever that means. And what in this context that could mean, the not self just being like kind of like just kind of like, you know, averted to a whole different truth, most respectively to the logic of a different quote unquote organic system, right, end quote. So that's what like a quote unquote collective tribal not self could mean, because within the system of HD, they talk about tribal dynamics, community building, and whatnot, respectively. So within that community and collective, it forms a particular, respectively, it forms a particular collective ego. And as it as it builds that collective ego obviously has its own, you know, dichotomies and regulations of what is ultimately like for it or not for it, if I, you know, use that word correctly, respectively. So and obviously they could be in a community field that could lean towards, they don't give a care about, you know, quote unquote like progressive knowledge and organic assistance and knowledge like that, because they're just in their own collective ego of their community with respects to the energies. So I just wanted to give a quick reminder. I was going to do an intuitive read right here of just like, you know, the Saturn and Pisces doing its thing, being patient in areas such as like, you know, dream time, Saturn conjunct Earth. The Earth could be looked at as a very special daughter, a very special, like just on a metaphysical level. The Earth could be looked at as like, you know, the like, you know, kind of like maybe even like something of a homecoming queen. And that homecoming queen, she went on like, she's very royal, and she has like respectively, she has her like, you know, her shadow respectively, and that's what the 3D is. That 3D is that shadow within the light, and Saturn is kind of there taking care of the daughter and like, you know, kind of like supplying our unconscious self with a bunch of gifts and quote unquote like treasures and jewelry and treats and presents and a bunch of support and a bunch of luxury respectively, because Saturn, he naturally is in like he's like a governor of the material world, and within that governor of the material world, he's in quote unquote injecting the conjunct the earth like a certain type of like format of structure, and like we naturally could like quote unquote be forced end quote to go where we need to go. Saturn conjunct Earth in Pisces, trining the moon. So within the trines of the moons, the trine activation is bringing our water capability forefronts to really shape the water for how we're mutably adapting within our dreamtime self. Pisces, we're mutably adapting our dreamtime self, and we're having the patience and the restriction to do that. Trine the moon. The moon is highlighting the Scorpio constellation, and the moon is bringing to the forefront how we're harvesting ourselves in Scorpio dynamics, and that trine is creating ourselves on how our heart has just been traveling through, you know, life, and it's been treated in its own raw way, and it gets what it gets based on what it's ultimately following up on its desire, and all the crazy cult shit is within, you know, respectively the Scorpio dynamic. Trining the Pisces, now it's like time to fucking, you know, now it's time to quote unquote sit down end quote. A lot of these new age speakers, they don't speak about general slow back times and just kind of like wait times respectively. So obviously I could do a way more in-depth presentation. I know this is raw, and I know intuitively that someone's going to feel a type of way, but for me to be more professional and for them to not feel some type of way, it's up to me to come some type of correctness. You have a great day, and may you feel better, and God understands how you feel and think, and I'm not claiming to be shit. You have the best life ever.